and had reached Bethphage. At the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, just say this: the Lord needs them, and he will send them immediately." This took place to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet, saying, "Tell this daughter of Zion, look, your king is coming to you, humble, mounted on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." The disciple went and did as Jesus had directed them. They brought the donkey and the colt and put their cloaks on them, and he sat on them. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and that followed were shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest heaven." When he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil, asking, "Who is this?" The crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
So our New Testament is written, the Gospel is written in Greek. And in the Greek language, there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's at least 12 that I pulled up. 12 words for work. They like to work. 12 different words for work. Poeo. We end up with poetry for that. Poeo, to make, produce, to execute, especially works of art, to bring to pass, to hold, to reckon, to esteem, to compose, to write, to represent, to put. Poeo covers a lot. To go, construct in wood or metal. Machinomai, we get the word machine, machinomai, to make a machine, to lift things, to do things. Tektonomai, which is a carpenter, builder. Grizo. Grizo is to make a sound. Ergozomai, to labor. Ergo, we have that, we use that in our science. Ergo, to labor. Business, occupation, to do. Tech, we get the word techie, tech. Skill, a trade. Presso. Achieve, accomplish, to bring about. We get the word practice. So, my father was a dentist. He's dental practice. Attorneys, they have a practice. The joke was, you're still practicing. You're not very good at it, are you? Presso. Histeme is, we get the word histamine, antihistamine. Histame is to make a stand. It's going to be military, to make a stand. Kathistame, to set down, to establish, to appoint. So the Greek city-states, if you're appointing people to govern, to establish, to make it happen, you do that. Tithame, to put in place. We end up with the word tithe, to put in place. We ended up with the new covenant is going to be a diatheke. It's going to be that tithame. It's through the tithe, something that's been put in place. So the scatter, it's a Passover event. It's the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's the Seder meal. The Seder is going to be arrangements. The arrangements are set in place. And this is going to be for public viewing. Luke's going to say it's theater. Everybody looks on. Everybody watches this. And it's going to be one of these things that's like horrible to behold. Everybody watches this. It's an open viewing. And so theater was a big deal, and theater in the Greek city-states was a big gathering thing, and so we have a lot of different things that happen, and it's a big gathering, and whenever there's these different gatherings at the Olympics or theaters or different things, you have a lot of different groups of people. One group of people who really kind of moved themselves and sat by themselves, or they talked among themselves, they would behold and they would think about it and talk about it. And they ended up being kind of what they call philosophers, because that word would be in there, and they would look at it and they would consider it, they would think about it, and they would think about it hard and a lot, and they would think about a lot of things. And in the Greek world, as they thought about things, they thought, the way that people told us, or the way that it's been written about, that's probably not really true. And so the philosophers, they wanted to say, what's it really like? How can we find out what things really are like? And that's what they were after. And so there were these groups that came, 585 BC, probably a good time to think about it as far as Israel's history. It's a time when Judah goes off to Babylon. It's a good time. Jeremiah's time. And so up in the Greek city-states, you have the Aegean, and you have the coast of Asia Minor, and across you have Athens, the Aegeans, and the philosophers grow up on the coast of Asia Minor. And they're thinking, what's things really like? Because this is also where Homer was, and where Homer's written the Iliad and Odyssey. And Homer has a lot of these gods showing up and doing things. And Homer never really witnessed this. Homer was considered blind. He never witnessed this, but he wrote about it. And a lot of people started thinking, does that really happen? Are there really gods, and can they really change form? Because this is what's happening. This is what we're reading about in this hymn, that in the form of God, and then the form of mortal. This is really a very cultural thing, but a very technical thing. This is really, they're trying to get at something. And what they're trying to get at, and what the Greek philosophers were trying to get at was how things really are. What are they really? And how do they come to be? And they would look at things like an infant, a baby's born that becomes a child, and becomes a youth, and becomes an adult, and then grows old, and then dies. What do I see? What is this? What's behind that? What is it really? What's really back there? And so the Greeks worked out this thing where there's this appearances. This is something you see, but what's really back there? And that's what we really want to know. And actually, it's the birth of science. And the birth of science, really, the first branch that's going to come off of it for the Greek city-states is going to be medicine, because they want to know what is it and what can we do about it, because we like doing stuff. So that's where they are. And the Greeks finally, they worked on this stuff, and they hit an impasse, because they said, we've been working on this for a number of a generation or two now, and really what we have, same thing you have today, is we've got a lot of people saying different stuff, and we've hit an impasse. And then you have this next generation that kind of works its way towards Athens, and they're called the sophists. And the sophists are really intellectuals, and they're really good with language, and they're really good with argument. And actually, they come from, some are coming from Sicily, and some are coming from up north in Thrace, and some are coming from Asia Minor. But they're meeting in Athens because Athens now has a democracy. And now that you have a democracy, and now that you have public discourse, and you have public argument, and you don't really want to govern with a bunch of people who don't know how to communicate. You want to govern with something that will take you somewhere. And so when the sophists came, they came from out of town. They're not from around Athens. And they came and they said, do you really have evidence for how you do things, or is this your prejudice? We have that today. It's called multiculturalism, meaning is your culture better than mine? We want some respect for our culture. How you do things is just the way you do them, and it's your prejudice. There's no evidence that what you do is better than what we do. And so they work for a generation, and then the next generation is going to come, and it's going to be that I'll call them the three amigos, because it's going to be your Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And they're going to hammer it hard, and they're going to say, those really are facts. And it's really important to know what the facts are, and it's really important to dig, and find out what it is, because it's meaningful. It means something to us. It'll mean something to the next generation. It'll mean something to the next generation, and we need to really get at this. And so you have your Socrates, Plato, and then Aristotle's going to come. And they're going to try to work at it, but they're going to hit an impasse, and then you can kind of see where philosophy goes. But what we have in this letter, what we have in this hymn, is Jesus Christ in the form of God. You say, okay. Well, they've all realized nobody sees God. There's no form of God. So now he's going to take the form of a mortal. Okay. Well, why? Why should we accept that? Because the Greeks also had three words for form. At least three. They probably had more. They like working these things, so you can have a morphe. Morphology, you can end up with morphe. The form, that's the main word that's used. And they're also going to have ideas. What you see, but what you think. An idea is a form. It's a form. An idea. And they're also going to have a schema. A scheme. We get schematic. It's going to be numbers. It's going to be, what is it? Let's get at it more exactly. Let's get behind it. Let's get under it. But also I've been talking about it in the Hebrew language. The word that we end up translating the word debar, it's like, what's behind that? What's under that? So they're kind of working the same thing. One of them is by revelation. The other one is by just hard-nosed grind that. Let's grind it out. Let's find out what's behind that, what's under that. So why should we accept that he was God, he took the form of God? Well, John's going to say, well, he's the Logos. And the Logos is going to be that reason. The Logos is going to be that you get down to it and you start really documenting things, and this is how it works. And even if you can't document it, you know it's there, because something's always behind it, and it's going to be this Logos term that John's going to write about. And there's going to be this other thing that comes up, is that there's going to be, what John writes about, there's going to be this passion involved. We're going to translate it compassion, but it's really going to be guts. And we really looked at that last week on the raising of Lazarus. When Jesus Christ, he weeps and he groans. He's getting down to something. Because the Greeks kind of were separating themselves from passion. They're saying, all that passion is just a lot of heat and flame, and that's really not going to be the Logos. That's really not going to be how it really works. But in Jesus Christ, you're going to find out that there is a lot of heat, and there is a lot of passion, and there's a lot of groaning, and there's a lot of work that's going to be done. And this is what's getting ready to happen. They're going to see the work of a God. They're going to see a God at work. And so why would we accept that? Because he's taken on a form and he's doing the things that you would want a God to be able to do. It's his public ministry. It's all documented in the Gospels. Basically, it's going to be medicine, but it's all kinds of stuff. He talks to nature. Nature obeys him. He's behind it. He's under it. And so what we have here is going to be, it's going to be in this psalm, it's going to be it's translated existed, he existed. That's going to be a hupo-archo. And then archo is going to be usually translated beginning. But it also means rule. And it's going to be that word that's used Old Testament wise with God in the beginning. In the beginning. In the beginning. And the Greeks always says, you know what? If you can find out the beginning, that's really important. And in fact, if you can find the beginning and if you can find the end, you really got a lot. If you can find the beginning and end, because then you've got the whole process. And that's who the gospel writers are saying Jesus Christ is. He's the beginning, and he's the point. He's the end. And all that he's doing is meaningful and it's important. He says he took on the form of a servant, of man. And so that's how you look at it. When you look at the prophets, and you look at Moses, and you look at everybody in the Old Testament, they're servants of God. Because God is doing something. And he's having his servants do it. And it's going to be powerful and it's going to be meaningful. So a lot of people all throughout the region, they're all doing sacrifices. And sacrifice is going to be a Latin word, and that sacra is going to be holy, or it's going to be something for the gods, and it's going to be facio, facere, and it's going to be to make. It's going to be to make holy, or something like that. In the entire Old Testament prophets are saying, guys, there's nothing you can do to make holy. You can't do it. It's above your ability. You don't have that ability to make holy. Jesus Christ makes holy. Jesus Christ is God's work being done. And it's a strange work. And we talk about it and we try to dig out under it. What's going on here? But what we have these next few days is to look at it intently. It's the work of a God. It's the work of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.